guys! Welcome to my 36-week Bumpdate! 36 weeks. So this week, once you hit 36 weeks, if you go into labor, they usually don't stop labor anymore. So that's kind of exciting and crazy because that's getting so close to, like game time. He could come anytime. And that's crazy. So, as far as symptoms this week, there have been some new things. And actually quite a few new things, so let's just get right on into it. Okay, first off, this isn't new, but just a symptom, I guess. I'm still really hungry, and almost all of my apps are like, yes, if you've noticed your appetite is decreasing, it's because baby is not leaving much room in your stomach. And I'm over here like, I'm starving all the time. I want food all the time. So that does not apply to me whatsoever. So, I'm still really hungry and eating, all the time. A new symptom this week is I started leaking some colostrum. So that was interesting, but it's good to know that at least things are, getting ready to breastfeed. So that was kind of exciting. All right, I had a doctor's appointment this week and I will every week from now on. And the C-section date, I'm not really happy with this answer, but I'll explain why. So it was supposed to be the 27th, like that's the date that we had discussed with my doctor for a while, and I do love my doctor, like do not get me wrong when I say this, I absolutely love him, he is the best, love him, love him, love him. But now he's like, well, we can't really do the 27th, maybe, because his kids are on spring break that week, which is fine, like I understand, he needs vacation time too, but, I wish I maybe would have known that a couple weeks ago or something. So he said, there's a possibility we may not go out of town, and if we don't go out of town, we can still do it the 27th. He was like, but in case we do go out of town, we need to schedule it for like the 30th or something. So, that's only like 3 days from my original due date. Well, 4, I guess. And it kind of sucks because now it could be the 27th or it could be the 30th. That is if I make it till that date, which I'm going to be really honest with you guys. I'm going to let you in on this little secret insight. It's not really a secret or an insight, but whatever. I don't think I'm going to make it to the 27th anyway. So I wouldn't be surprised if I went into labor before that. But in case I do make it to that day or the 30th, it's just a little frustrating that I still don't really have a day. I mean, it's scheduled for the 30th, but he's like, we could definitely do it the 27th if I'm home. So, it's still kind of up in the air. But what can you do? He said that I could my C-section done by the other doctor, and I do really like the other doctor, but I prefer to just have mine because he's my doctor. So that is what's going on with the C-section date. Also at the appointment, I had my Strep B test done, and let me just tell you guys, like, people scared the crap out of me about the Strep B test, like that it was awful and violating and all this stuff. It really wasn't bad. I mean, no, it's not fun, and yeah, it's uncomfortable a little bit but it's just like any normal womanly visit, like it's not a big deal. So if you're freaking out about Strep B, don't, because it's seriously nothing but a thing. Okay, so this week, the movements that this little boy has been doing is crazy. Like, he'll move my whole belly, and what's so neat is that he loves to stick his butt out. And I think he likes his butt rubbed or patted or whatever, because if I kind of like rub a little bit on my belly where it's at, he'll poke it out like, okay, rub my butt. And if I stop, he'll poke it out further like, excuse me, why'd you stop? So I think that's really funny because I was like that when I was a baby. I don't know about in the womb, but once I was out, I just always had to have my butt patted. I don't know. It was a comfort thing. So I think he may have gotten that trait from me, and I kind of find it adorable. Okay, another thing this week is no energy. Like zero, nada, nothing. I am so tired, and I think a couple factors play into that, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But I'm just tired, and my belly's getting big, and it's just, I'm really starting to feel pregnant. Not that I haven't felt pregnant, but I mean, the pregnancy feeling it's real, it's setting in. Hip pain has also been a symptom this week, and I don't really know if it is sciatic pain, because it is a little bit in my lower back and my hip, but when I have hip pain, just generally, it sort of feels like that too, so I'm not sure which it is. But my lower back and my hips are hurting a little bit more, and I know it's because he's very low and there's just a lot of pressure down there. Another interesting thing that happened this week, and this is TMI, so if you don't like TMI, click away because it's a little TMI. But I have started losing a little bit of my mucus plug, I think. There hasn't been any blood in it, but I didn't know what it was. I was like, that's strange. So I Google imaged mucus plug, which don't do that if you're squeamish or if you just ate or you are hungry, because probably not gonna want to eat anymore. It's pretty gross. But at the same time, I'm glad there's pictures up there because I was like, hey, that's what it looked like. So, and I don't think it was my whole mucus plug. I think it was just a little bit, which I know can happen and you can regrow it. So I'm not worried like it's gonna come out, I'm gonna go into labor in 5 seconds. Like, I'm not worried about that, and I know at this point it's normal for it to start kind of coming out a little bit. So that's something I'm just going to keep my eye on, and obviously if there was blood or anything like that in it, I would probably contact my doctor just to let him know, because I am 36 weeks. So yeah, so that's interesting. I've also been having some contractions this week, which are painful. But again, they're not consistent, they're not getting stronger or anything like that. It's usually if I've walked a lot or if I've been doing something or sometimes just randomly. And they hurt. I mean, they don't feel good. So yeah, there's some real contractions happening and it's crazy, but hey, that's to be expected at this point. Also, we had our hospital tour on Sunday and I love the staff and like everybody at this hospital. They're amazing. The lady who did the hospital tour was fantastic. She answered so many questions and she answered stuff that I didn't even know I had questions about, but apparently I did. And it makes me so much more comfortable, you know, knowing exactly where we're gonna be and where to go and where my family's gonna be and where James is gonna be and just everything. Like I feel so much better now having seen everything and going through the hospital. And like meeting some of the nurses and stuff. That was really cool. And there's just so many things about the hospital that I really, really like. Like the fact that sometimes when you have a C-section, some hospitals want to give your baby a bottle because they want you to recover and they don't want you to try to nurse right away because you're in recovery and blah, 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 blah. And that's one thing I did not want. I wanted him on me as quickly as possible to try to nurse as long as I could do that. Obviously, like if there was a complication or something like that, he would have a bottle, but you know, if everything was okay and I was able to hold him and try to nurse, I would like to do that as quickly as possible. So they're very adamant about getting the baby on you quickly, whether it's a C-section or a regular birth, and he will be with me at all times. Or James at all times. They don't take him away from us at all after my C-section, so that's really cool. I'm trying to think what else, but it was really nice. I will have to say though, we have 2 hospitals in town, and there's one hospital that they just redid the whole maternity, labor and delivery, like all of that area, and it's really, really nice, and that's where all my friends gave birth. And the rooms are big and they're new and they're great and everything. And I will have to say that at this hospital, the rooms aren't as big and nice and new and shiny and stuff. But this hospital is the one with the NICU. They're supposed to have better, I hate saying this, but like better staff in general. So I do feel more confident delivering at this hospital over the other one. So my room won't be big and shiny and whatever. That's okay. It's temporary. We're going to be there for hopefully about 3 days, so I can deal with it, I think. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for my 36-week bump date. I did, however, want to talk about something else real quick. It's not pregnancy related, but I was supposed to vlog on Wednesday and put my vlog up, and I did start vlogging, but I ended up taking our dog Alpha to the vet because he hadn't been acting right for about 2 weeks, and we did take him to the vet a couple weeks ago, and they thought he was just having a little bit of an allergy on his paws because he was kind of limping and eating at his paws a little bit and just chewing at them. So we were giving him Benadryl and seeing if it was helping, and it just wasn't. He seemed to be getting worse. So on Wednesday I was like, I can't take this anymore. He's not acting like him. We just, you know, I need to take him in. So I did, and he was really, really sick. He had a really bad infection in his pancreas. He's still at the vet, and you know, it's Friday today. We took him in Wednesday, and he's still there. Luckily, they have the infection under control with antibiotics, but the problem is they took some x-rays of his belly, and he has a mass of some sort, and they don't know what it is. So they're going to do an ultrasound today, which they should be doing it in about 15 minutes to see what that is. So there's a chance he may need surgery. You know, it could be a bunch of things. So it's been a really hard week, and I've been really upset because at first before they figured out it was his pancreas, they're like, you know, he could have cancer because they saw these two big masses, but he was really backed up because of having pancreatitis. And so that was one of the masses at least. But so I was by myself, so I just start crying, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my dog has cancer. I mean, there's still a possibility that he could. So it's just been a really trying week, and emotional, and just really hard because I just want him to feel better. I want him to come home. He's our baby. And so I didn't finish vlogging that day because I was a hot mess. And you know, I'm sorry, but that's life. And so I just wanted to explain that real quick, and if you guys could just keep Alpha in your thoughts and your prayers, because, you know, we just want him to get better and to be okay. But anyway, not trying to be a downer, because he is doing better, and I've been visiting him every day, and today when I went to visit him, he was much more himself, so that was really, really good to see. So I'm glad the antibiotics are working, and let's just hope and pray that everything's okay on the ultrasound. But anyway, I will now show you my belly, and we'll get back onto happier notes. So here's my 36-week belly. Alright guys, well I hope you are having a fantastic week, and I hope you have a great weekend, and I just want you guys to know that I'm thinking about you and I'm praying for you. But I will see you next week. I will try to vlog next week, but I'll try to be better at that, so hopefully I'll have some stuff up for you. But anyways, I hope you guys are doing great, and I will see you next week. Bye guys!